Cannoneer is a pretty cool pirate, with a big focus on almost all their damage coming out every minute while bossing, great map clear while grinding, and flooding the screen with lines! Have you ever wanted to make walls of numbers with almost every attack you do? Stick around and you'll find out how. Starting off with all the important skills as usual, the Explorer Pirate Link skill gives flat all stats, some health and mana, and reduces damage taken. You can even double-click the link to swap your main stat around every 5 seconds if you felt like doing that for whatever reason. Mobility skills wise, you get this bindable flash jump with an up jump included, another up jump that can be used from the ground or multiple times in the air, and this recoiling cannon shot. You get all 3 of these right from first job. There's also Cannon Crash, which is a little rush-like skill. For attacks, there's loads throughout all the job ranks that all get outclassed by your main mobbing and bossing skills at 4th job. Cannon Bazooka and Cannon Barrage, respectively. Support Monkey is a useful summon that sticks around you and attacks nearby enemies as you also attack. You can't add them to auto buff, nor any sequences or anything like that, so make sure they're summoned as often as you can for free damage. Anchors Away is a placedown summon that yanks enemies towards it, and does damage every 2 to 3 seconds. Nautilus Strike is a decent map wipe with a 30-second cooldown, and the Nuclear option is also an attack with a 30-second cooldown that, after exploding, leaves behind a damage over time field on the lowest platform within attack range for 15 seconds. Rolling Rainbow is a gigantic laser that blasts enemies in its area for 12 seconds, 1 minute cooldown. Monkey Mortar is an attack that you can fire off every 4 seconds, which blows up and hurts enemies. You can use it manually, but pretty much every Cannoneer just right-clicks it so it automatically comes out every 4 seconds. There's not much reason for using it manually. Lastly, and most importantly for attacks that do big damage, Cannon of Mass Destruction fires an incredibly slow-moving bullet. If you right-click it, it'll go even slower when it makes contact with enemies. But yeah, it just slowly progresses forward and shreds everything in its path for loads and loads of damage. It even holds 2 charges, building up one every 30 seconds, and you can use both charges at the same time by holding down and clicking the skill. Okay, enough playing around. You now know all the main attacks, so where's all the extra damage lines? Here you go. Buckshot is a passive that triples all your direct attack lines permanently at the cost of reducing all damage lines dealt by 45%. My math might be off, but I think that's about a 65% damage increase, not even factoring in critical hits. That's massive. Plus it looks cool when you flood the screen with numbers everywhere. Buckshot used to be a toggle, but nowadays it's just a passive that can never ever be turned off once you get it. 40 Winks can be toggled off though. It's just a chance to slow enemies with your attacks, and it even works on bosses. Now, for all these buffs, Overdrive increases your attack power, but reduces your attack power slightly while it's on cooldown. Monkey Business summons an entourage of monkeys that attack alongside you for 20 seconds at level 1, or 25 seconds at max level. And Poolmaker boosts damage, deals damage around you a bunch of times, and also summons treasure chests periodically. Click up on said chest, and you get healed, and also get another damage buff for 20 seconds. Party members can even swipe these treasure chests for heal and damage as well. Oh, also, Roll of the Dice gives you stats based on what number it rolls, and Loaded Dice at 5th job even lets you choose a specific number to guaranteed roll every time. You even get an extra dice for each of these upgrades, and rolling the same number gives extra stats. The main numbers you'll ever care about loading are 5 for damage and 6 for XP. All these buffs have a 1 minute cooldown, with the slight exception of Overdrive going to a 1 minute cooldown at its max level of 30. Lastly, Maple World Goddess's Blessing is just a 1 minute damage buff and % all stat increaser with a 2 minute cooldown. Epic Adventure gives you and all Explorer party members some damage for a minute, also with a 2 minute cooldown. And Pirate's Banner is a placedown flag with no cooldown that gives you and all your party members a main stat and IED increase for as long as they stay in it. Cannoneer, however, yeah, they just get the flag buff for free, no matter if they stand in it or not. Moving on to hyper passives, you can't go too wrong with your options. Starting with Support Monkey, get Reinforced for more damage, and Extra Strike for an extra damage line. Persist is pointless because there's no summon cooldown, just slap its summon button whenever. Moving on to Cannon Bazooka, the mobbing skill. Reinforce and Spread are just unnecessary, because Extra Strike is a pretty big damage bump far well and away over them. Lastly, for your bossing attack, Cannon Barrage, get Reinforce and Extra Strike. Critical chance would only be if you're absolutely in need of 100% crit rate for bossing, but chances are you'll hit 100% no problem through loads of various other means. So all those Extra Strike passives we got just now, yeah, Buckshot triples every single one of those. You just got 3 extra lines of damage across your main kit for both grinding and bossing. That's pretty damn nice. Now here's what you want to prioritize for 5th job skills. Cannon of Mass Destruction above every other possible option. These giant bullet bill lookalikes are massive damage. After that, Monkey Business, the nuclear option, and lastly, Pool Maker. That's not the full story though. The Cannoneer Discord advises the shared skills are equally as important as the class exclusive ones. Looking a bit like this, squeezing Banner, Overdrive, and Maple World Goddess's Blessing right in between Business and Nuclear. Now on the Trinode side of things, for some unexplained ungodly reason, Cannoneers have 14 to choose from. You'll only need 7 of them. Cannon Barrage and Bazooka, Support Monkey, Rolling Rainbow, Monkey Fury / Mortar, Nautilus Strike, and Anchors Away. This can be done across 5 node slots, with 1 spot left over for a filler skill of your choice, either to boost one skill higher and earlier than the rest, or for whatever else you wanted and/or end up with. Setting it up across a layout similar to this will do just fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to boost each skill twice. 6th job changes a few things about Cannoneer's core kit, like Hexa Anchors Away having a bigger hitbox, so it's not as rinky-dinky as its non-Hexa form, and Hexa Rolling Rainbow holding an extra charge that you can either fire off whenever they're ready, or a super version by holding down before casting. For 5th job upgrades, Poolmaker gets more activations. Super Cannon Explosion is the origin skill, being the typical old bread and butter origin. Big damage, binds the boss on its own timer, invincible during the animation, 6-minute cooldown. Likewise, the Ascent, Barrel of Monkeys, is just a big bop of damage, plus the usual other Ascent benefits, invincibility, 3 charges every boss fight, or 4-minute cooldown outside of bosses. Pretty easy, right? No? Then let's make Cannoneer easy. Starting off with the amount of skills on keyboard buttons required to play this class optimally. Like 10-15 total? If we're just purely only talking about skills, a lot of your buffs can be shoved into sequences, and everything else is either a cooldown attack, your main mobbing and/or bossing skills, or some type of mobility. Forgive me for my weird-ass layout, but this is what my keyboard looks like. Yank out all the quote-unquote unnecessary buttons, and this is what you're left with. Origin and Ascent will occupy 2 more of these spots, but yeah, that's pretty slim. Okay, I'll just be honest here. Support Monkey is an annoying skill. Yeah, it's a nice damage boost for everything you do, but it can't be tossed on auto buff or sequence or anything like that. Remember to summon that when you can, ideally in between attacking, and maybe even shove their timer on your buff favorites, so you can better monitor when they're out and attacking or not. Cannoneers suggest shoving them on a macro right before Cannon Crash, so you summon the monkey with every dash you do, so there's an option for you that might help. For grinding, pay close attention. Place down Anchor and/or Erda Fountain somewhere if you have it, then click Pool Maker. Optionally for more coverage, Nautilus Strike and Nuclear option every 30 seconds. After Pool Maker uses all of its charges, use Monkey Business. Congratulations, you now know the comfiest way to grind on Cannoneer. Pool Maker and Monkey Business both function similarly to Soul Janus Dusk, clearing the area around you. Pair that with Erda Fountain covering another area of the map, and optionally Nautilus Strike for a map wipe or nuclear option for damage along a platform, and you can just go chill out for a cool cozy half a minute. I even wrote like half this guide while doing this grinding method. Thanks to this user from the Cannoneer Discord for showing me the light of effortless grinding. I came across this by pure chance and it has made my life so much easier. But yeah, that map's gonna be squeaky clean if you just remember to alternate between Pool Maker and Monkey Business. Try it out. For bossing, make sure 40 Winks is toggled on. Really, it's nice to always keep on, but slowing bosses that move around is pretty nice. It also debuffs them. Most of the time spent off burst will just have you spamming barrage and nuclear option. Thankfully, most of Cannoneer's core burst is up every minute, so despite being basic outside of that, you'll still be going wild every minute. Lastly, yeah, don't forget about your 2.5 second iframe every 30 seconds when you need to save yourself in a pinch. Is Cannoneer a cooldown hat class? Kind of? Ultimately, yes. They'd want either a -2 second or -5 second hat, but just a pure stat hat is totally fine and usable too. Apparently, you'd only have to worry about a -2 second hat at much later stages in the game for better burst alignment and squeezing just inches more damage out whenever you can. Even still, a -2 second hat is totally fine if you wanted to go that route. Real quick, sequences. One for buffs, consisting of whatever decence you have, monkey magic, and dice if you felt so inclined. Also Pirate's Banner, though you could also toss that onto its own sequence, or just on every sequence here really, since it's a stat boosting field you'll want to be in frequently, and doesn't have a cooldown anymore. It's pretty vital nowadays to shove it in sequences because skipping its animation saves about 1 second of time every time you plant it down. Just look how much faster it is without that animation. God damn. Anyways, burst sequences are pretty similar for both 2 and 1 minute burst. The main key difference would be Epic Adventure, Maple World Goddess, and if you had it, a Ring of Restraint, ideally placed on the 2-minute burst, because, you know, these all have a 2-minute cooldown. Everything else on this has a 1-minute cooldown, so you can pop off pretty frequently. What are the link skills like? Well, for grinding, a layout like this works just fine. Mercedes for XP, Evan for longer runes, Aran for more potent combo orbs, Laura for more normal enemy damage, Hoyoung for ensuring one-shots on mobs, and whatever other damage dealing links you had for the rest. Bossing for everybody will always want AB's link, terms and conditions. The rest can be whatever boss-focused links you have and or wanted to use, like the demons, Hayato and Kana, Ark and Mojuan, Explorers, Resistance Link if you wanted a comfy 12 seconds with every revive in a boss fight. Yeah, some layout similar to this. So the weakest part about Cannoneer is how slow they attack until they can hit that attack speed cap of 10, also known as AS0. With decent speed infusion at 5th job, a green potion from Monster Park, and an attack speed +1 first line on their inner ability, they can achieve exactly that. This would mainly be best for bossing, alongside some boss damage and a normal status damage for 2nd and 3rd lines, ideally. As a settle, as per usual, flat attack is totally a-okay until you get better lines. A grinding preset, however, will just be the old gold tried and true drop, meso, and normal monster damage. Bursting is so simple, even your little pet monkey could pull it off. First, make sure 40 winks is toggled on, and that your loaded dice is set to 5 for the damage buff. Also get support monkey out if they aren't yet. Now, bind the boss here, either with Nova or your origin if you have it, and follow that up with your 2-minute sequence. Now hold down and cast Cannon of Mass Destruction, and Rolling Rainbow if you have its Hexa upgrade. Otherwise, you don't need to hold down for Rainbow. I think you can right-click to toggle the big cannon too. Follow those up with the nuclear option, and then cycle right on back to spamming Barrage. That's it. That's pretty much all 3 of Cannoneer's bursts. 1 minute is pretty much the same, but taking Rolling Rainbow off if you're at 6th job, and saving both charges of that for the 2-minute burst. Also using the 1-minute sequence if you had that as well. Feel free to use the nuclear option every 30 seconds, but otherwise, yeah, in the downtime, spam Barrage, and you're golden. And that's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to the Cannoneer Discord for all their resources and straightforward information. And of course, thanks to my channel members, such as Zikma and Grimden. I appreciate everyone that supports me doing these little guides I make. And yeah, until next time, that's all.